Alright. Morning, everyone. Kevin, the Toy Smuggler here, and today we're talking about one of my favorite products, storylines, heroes, you name it, whatever. But Indiana Jones was such a huge influence on me as a young kid. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my Star Wars, I love my He-Man, but I'm here to tell you, when Indiana Jones come out, man, he, as always, ever since then, it's all about action hero. And bottom line, and still today, Harrison Ford is still, you put him, you put that hat on him, you put that leather jacket on him, it just screams action hero. It's just one of the greatest ideas that's come out of the cinemas in a very long time. Honestly, I don't think since Indiana Jones we have got any kind of character out there that we can actually relate to the way that we still today relate to Indiana Jones. And I think the reason for that is George Lucas's love for the old Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, all those black and white serials from the early 40s. Man, that whole genre, and that's also the same genre that helped inspire Star Wars. So, I mean, bottom line, that's what I always, and everybody wonders why I always talk about the past. And I'm here to tell you folks, any movie that really hit the box office in the 80s came from studying the old movies from the 40s, whether it be the Universal Monsters, the Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers stuff that influenced Star Wars. I mean, there's just so many older movie products that those guys were masters. These were the guys. Everybody, we lean too much on technology nowadays with the digital era and everything. Unfortunately, you young folks only study or only look at the people who are the hot properties right now. You think, well, I'm going to learn from the artist. You want the Marvel artist that's hot right now, or the actor or actress that is hot right now. And I'm here to tell you, more than likely, those guys or girls who are a hot property right now, they studied someone in the past to learn off them, to build off, and then put their own personality and touch to it to create a new product. That's how all this works. And if you're not looking at each generation before, you're not ever going to be at your ever top potential that you can probably possibly be. I'm just here to tell you folks, we learn from each other, and you learn from the past. So, you know, what's that old saying? If you don't study the past will come back to haunt you. And that's so true. We only can go so far on our own if you don't have. It's even with scientists, they got to study the scientists who pre-worked on the project to take it to the next step. So take my yesterday morning, I done a live show on sculpting. And I told you, I went 5 or 6 years there just struggling. I didn't know of any other artist who knew sculpting. So everything, and then I told you, I finally got the pop sculpture book. I knew 3/4 of it, but the fourth that I didn't know was freaking gold. And it kills me that if I would have had this book, that 6 or 7 year learning curve that I went through of hardships, I learned through making countless mistakes, wasting countless amount of dollars on products that just got thrown in the garbage. I could have learned it. What I learned in 6 years, I probably could have got highly proficient in less than 2 years. So that's what I'm telling you, folks. If you're whatever you're trying to learn today, no matter what medium is, you need to study the greats of the past. And this is where I'm excited about the future of Indiana Jones, and this is where I'm extremely concerned about the future of Indiana Jones. And I got a few products here. I have some of the original figures, but I got them safely locked up back in my closet. I don't pull them out. I don't have many of those figures, and I tend not to bring them out too much. I'm waiting to get a couple more things so I can truly display it well. But most of this stuff, it came out of the era when the fourth movie, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which was highly shunned upon and stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I was not a fan of the idea, but I will say this: I think Spielberg and Lucas, considering the type of story direction they were going in, I think they truly still pulled it off well. And I think the only thing that truly hurt them, they were kind of in the situation where they were forced to still make this movie by using more digital means and stuff, and I can see the difference from going at it at a digital approach versus the original movies. They went for the old school indie guerrilla style filming, which truly lends to the action element of this kind of storyline. And I think what Disney needs to do, learn from their massive amount of mistakes that they made on the Star Wars movies. Look back at what failures that Indiana Jones, the fourth movie, caused, which I think was more a story choice. They should have stayed more. See, all the other three storylines, they had either a biblical or an occult vibe to them, and it revolved around an artifact of, in which I do give the credit, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. The artifact itself is an actual thing that has been found on this planet. So I think that part is good. I just think a lot of the Indiana Jones and Aliens just is going to be a hard mix to sell no matter what. But I still think they did it. They did it pretty good. Not saying they couldn't have done it better, but I think considering the product, I was shocked at how well they pulled it off. So, and it was actually something that was currently being talked about during the era, the age that Indy was supposed to be anyway. And that was the hype of Roswell, the UFO crashings and sightings and stuff. So if you do your history and study that point of view with which they were coming from, that movie makes a whole lot more sense than if you just walk in Indiana Jones and Aliens. If that was your approach when you came in, it went right over your head. But luckily, I'm a huge Ancient Aliens fans, watching Giorgio and stuff like that. That's why I walked in there and I seen this movie. I get from a creative director's point of view, I understand what they were trying to do. That's why I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than most other people. So, and the biggest thing that where my concerns lies, obviously, Disney does not approach these big properties with the, let's just say, common sense. I think they lend too much more. Oh, it's Star Wars. Oh, it's Indiana Jones. No matter what we do, we're going to make some money off of it. And here lies the problem with that is, if that's your approach to making a movie, is money's the only reason you're making this, boy, are you opening yourself to a whole lot of problems. See, Lucas and Spielberg made this movie because, hey, I like to make a serial action movie, a genre of heroes and just, going out and, surviving through impossible tasks. They wanted to make a fun movie. It had nothing to do with making money, even though, of course, they knew that in the back of their mind they had to make a quality enough product to make money, but their upfront initial desire was to make a fun action movie that reflected from the old 40s serials. And I think that's where Disney's truly missing the boat here. The first three movies came from Lucas's and Spielberg's heart. And then they found a guy that they been working on projects before, Harrison Ford, which truly just embodied the character. And actually, everybody should know this, but Tom Selleck was actually the first guy signed to be Indiana Jones. And they had to change it because of the whole Magnum PI agreement on CBS and stuff. But luckily, I'm not saying I think Tom Selleck's an amazing actor. Now, I love what he's doing on Blue Bloods. I think that's probably the height of his career, truly showing the guy's talents. But I just can't see anybody else wearing this hat. And they're wanting to put the hat on, oh gosh, what's the dude's name? The guy that starred in the new Jurassic Park. His name just left me, but you guys know who I'm talking about. I don't have notes here. Plus, it's almost 6 o'clock in the morning. I've not had enough coffee. But anyway, and I'm not taking anything away from that actor. I think he's done great with Guardians of the Galaxy. I think he's done great with the Jurassic Park series. I think he's gave it a little bit new life. And I think he has proven himself to be some sort of decent action hero. But honestly, I just don't know. I still think it's too early in the game to not have even Harrison Ford at 70 some years old can still put this hat, put this outfit on, and just pull off the character. And as long as he's alive and doing this, I think you need to do it. Now, if they want to introduce him as his son and still have Indy in the movie as the dad, I think that's fine. That might work. Then if Harrison decides to not ever do them again, then that might hopefully see Sebastian. Hey, what's up, brother? You doing all right? Thank you for joining me this morning. I know it's crazy early. I hope you're enjoying the Indiana Jones story here. And excuse me, guys. Also, I want to say this. The figures that came out after the wave of the fourth movie, this Indiana Jones figure come out. And for the life of me, so many people on the internet, Facebook, everybody blasts this figure. And I'm here to, and I just don't get it, guys. I think everybody talks about, well, it don't look exactly like Harrison Ford. Just like I said yesterday, I really think you guys in this whole digital era expect way too much high quality detail. And yesterday I was talking about a 6-inch scale. This is 3 3/4. To get a perfect likeness, and I'm telling you guys, if you look, pull pictures up online of the 80s version, and it looks more like the Han Solo figurehead. This, honestly, is not a bad rendition of Harrison Ford. The outfit looks great and everything. And he's got good articulation on this. Yes, he's got a wide stance, but I mean, guys, quit being so picky. This is not a bad figure at all. None. I don't. If I would have had this as a kid, I would have had a blast with this. So I just really. Now, I'm not saying some of them got produced and the paint apps might have been off. That's just part of making toys. Sometimes throughout the production process, paint jobs and sometimes even the sculpt come out of molds a little off. So that's through every toy line, and no matter what it is. Now, I really think people has this little bit too hard on this guy, and I think it's up there. Is it a top 10 figure? No, but I think it deserves a good high 8. I really do. And they made some good vehicles with this line. And then they started coming out with the old movie figures, and so we got a chance to get some of the ones and see which one's this one. Yeah, the Sean Connery, amazing figure here. I wish I had one loose. This is the only one I got, and it's carded. And I just cannot bring myself to rip it out of the package yet. So I'm hoping one day I find a loose version of this. And then the Knight. This is one of my favorite characters out of The Last Crusade. The Knight was just one of my. Oh, Tim Hayes. Good morning. You doing all right, brother? Let's see. No, I do not let her play with my Indiana Jones stuff just because her getting ready to be 4, she's still a little rough. And these, I tried not to give her figures that have a lot of the bendable knees. And a lot of bad times, these newer figures, the heads pop off. And for the life of me, my daughter still has not got out of the stage of wanting to put things in her mouth, even at almost 4. So honestly, I'm afraid she'll swallow an Indiana Jones head and don't want to go there, if you know what I mean. So that's why I let her play with the old Kenner Star Wars and the Kenner Ghostbusters and stuff. They were just super tough. Things don't fall off of them. To break a Kenner Ghostbuster figure, God, I can toss it down my damn driveway and it's just going to scuff it up. Nothing's going to fall off of it. See here. The 4-inch Crusader dude is a pretty decent figure, as most of the soldiers, in my opinion. I agree with you %. I don't have any of the soldiers. I do have one loose that I got put up, and I have to agree with you. The German soldiers were amazing looking. I think they did. Like I said, I don't think people really gave these line a chance. I think at that time, the digital creating of figures and stuff was really hitting him. It was new. It was hot. And I think everybody was just too quick on the draw on wanting the perfect figure. Oh, and it just drives me insane as an artist. Art, people, is not about perfect. It's actually the best art in the world. If you go in there and look at it, no matter what medium it is, you'll find imperfections. And it's even with my Kraken toy. I've been studying it now that I got my hands on it, and I found a lot of features on it that you can tell that this thing was sculpted by hand, not by it. Like the face is not asymmetrical. You can tell one side of the face is slightly different because it was sculpted by hand, versus nowadays, if this was made, they would make one side perfect, then do a mirror image copy just to make the other side. Which I get it, it's quicker and it we will look perfect, but there's no animal in any nature's kingdom anywhere that's perfect on both sides. It's the slightly imperfect things that make things look more pleasing to the eye. And that's why a lot of your newly digitally designed toys, even though they're accurate, there's just something about them that looks off. And that's what it is. That's the part. It's hard to get if you're not an artist. You can't hardly get, you don't comprehend that because you're trying to understand something with your eye instead of your brain, if that makes any sense. See here. Let's see here. What's going on here? See, yes, all right, but still a bit stressed. I know at this whole Corona thing is just being more annoying than worrisome. Far, I am not concerned with the stupid virus at all. If I get it, whatever, bring it on. I will tough through it. I will kick its butt. You know what I mean? Bring it on. I mean, bottom line, guys, common sense in this. Don't be rubbing up on nobody. Stay clean, wash those hands, take a bath every day, people. If you do that and there's not be dove in a big, huge amount of crowds, I think you'll be fine. But now, is it serious about far as older people with respiratory? Yes, it is. But the flu is. So they should be on guard anyway. So enough of that, people. This will blow over. The best advice I can give you on this whole Corona deal, quit watching the news. It will drive you insane. It's not good for you. All they do is lie. It's all about controlling us, people. Quit watching the damn news. Go to YouTube and watch stuff about toys. You'll be a lot happier. So, but see what you're, and yeah, you got some. They finally got around to making some of the cool female figures and stuff like that. I still have not had a chance to get the short round. I would like to get my hands on that. And then this guy right here, this Indiana Jones actually was a Disney Park exclusive. I came across it a little over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, at a toy convention up in Knoxville, Tennessee. A very small one. It was in a hotel of some sort. I can't remember which hotel. It was right there, almost right there right off of I-75 and everything. As soon as I seen it, I knew what it was, and the guy had a decent price. I think it was like $30, and it had all the little pieces to it. Even though I don't like that it is a 7-inch scale, I prefer. That's one reason why I don't collect a lot of the WWE wrestling figures. They're at a 7-inch scale. I prefer the 6-inch. The 7-inch scale was just a pompous act through WWE. When they started making their toys, they wanted their toys to be bigger than everybody else. Whatever. But unfortunately, when you go to place your figures up, they just will not scale right. So, and another thing is, I think they done the facial sculpt not to look like Harrison Ford, but to look more like the general look of the guys from the stunt crew from the live shows down there. And they might even pick a certain one. So I'm fine with that. I'm not over anal when it comes to these kinds of things. To me, I just love the design fact, and I don't have a whole lot of Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones merchandise has always been a turd to get your hands on. And that's why I like this wave here, because they came out with pretty abundant figures, and then they went on discount pretty quickly. And so there, and I was allowed to was able to pick up quite a bit more. I'm hoping to get some more of these guys, but they're every once in a while, if you find them, you find a bunch, or you don't find them at all. It's one extreme to the other. Thank you very much. Common sense, guys. I mean, when it comes to this kind of, it's untelling how long it's been around here, and we don't have a clue. And plus, several years ago, we had another flu virus rolling around that has killed 5 or 6 times more people and stuff, and nobody talked about it. The news wants to control us, and this is election year, so they somebody's profiting from this deal, okay? And it sure as hell ain't us. So don't give it your attention. Don't give it your time. Common sense, stay clean. Let's move on. I mean, that's the lifeblood of America, people. We persevere, and anytime there's a downward slope, guess what's ahead somewhere in the near future, guys? Blue skies, brother. I mean, 2008, I ain't gonna lie, was kicking everybody's butt. Everything was down. No money. Work drops. Everybody was just pressured. Boom. 3 years after that, because it killed the market, that's when the Toy Smuggler was able to go get me my own studio. Boom. I took off. I figured out a way how to not only survive through a tough time, but to look through opportunities. So, guys, there's opportunities all around. And actually, there's more opportunities when everything's going all to hell. So, be very optimistic. Keep your head up. Keep your ears open. Look for opportunities. Like one of my sayings I used to talk about, guys, the people who find treasure are the people who's looking for it. So don't go around with your head down. Woe is me. What am I going to do? The world's come to all to hell. No, you look up, look for the opportunity. There's always one around. So be positive, friends. Be positive. So back to when I'm talking about Disney. They're looking at making a new movie. We'll be wrapping up here in about 5 or 7 minutes, guys, something like that. But my concerns is how they're going to do the storyline. What storyline are they picking? I know Harrison Ford's involved, so thank God for that. And as far as I know, Lucas and Spielberg is definitely both going to be on the project. So I think they probably learned from their last mistake. So I'm kind of optimistic on that point. But I'm mostly excited. So those are some good things in place, and I'm hoping that Disney done learn from their mistakes from Star Wars. So, but what I'm excited is, at least so when the new movie comes out, I'm hoping they're really going to capitalize on new Indiana Jones figures. So I'm excited about that. And I would like to see Disney redesign or come out with the old mold again and reuse it of the Well of Souls, because we can't afford the daggum thing, people. It's crazy. I would love to have that, even if it's a reproduction version of it with a slightly different color. I would love to get that at a much more understandable price. That way I could afford 2 new ones in the box and have one loose versus trying to buy one right now. It's just ridiculous. And so that would be really iconic if they could pull that off. And I think that's where they really need to look at the old line. What do us, the fans, would look? Don't worry about the new fans. Worry about us guys, because we're the ones that's going to, we get the money. And like I said, and then I can't wait to hopefully my daughter will be a little bit older and I can truly introduce her to Indiana Jones and the property and stuff. And I think it's a great line. It really, for us as collectors, it could really make a great toy line. Once again, I think somebody that's needs to be a more simple, common sense movie, really still focusing on Harrison Ford as the character, and then come out with amazing toys. Keep the movie simple. Give us what we want. Don't try anything new and crazy. Go back to what worked back in the old days, because we're the ones that are going to go see it. And if you just make a solid good movie, you're going to hit with the new fans, and then come out and hit a home down run with these figures. Come out with plenty of them. Don't worry about collectors. Worry about the masses, which is everybody. And like I said, I've never been a fan of these only coming out one per case. And I just sets up so many different problems down the line for us collectors. Because, guys, I collect because I enjoy collecting. I don't collect to make money. And it's the people who collect to resell usually throws the kink in the chain, so to speak, in this whole entire process. So, and I do have some other cool things real quick I can show you. I got the alien that come out on the throne. Still got it. Never taken it out of the package here. Let me see if I can get a closer up look. From a storyline per thing, like I said, I'm a huge Ancient Aliens fans, so I dig this. Okay, this is really cool, and I do have the Sean Connery vinyl model kit here. I'm trying to get it in the shot here. So really cool piece. I have it wasn't sealed when I got it, but I opened up the sculpt on this is just simply amazing. Love it. And actually, this is my original Indiana Jones hat that my mom got me back when I can't remember if it was during I'm pretty sure it was during the first movie, but this was sold by J.C. Penney. So this is the only thing that I still have that I got from my childhood. It don't fit me no more, nowhere near the right size. This is a youth size, but I will never part with this. This is my original Indiana Jones hat that I wore as a kid, got out in the woods and got on the cliffs and put myself in mortal danger more than once. And like I said, to me, this hat right here was my power against kryptonite, so to speak. This made me invincible. I could do anything, swing from any tree, climb on any cliff, and I would always survive. And thankfully, I did. So this is my greatest treasure of my Indiana Jones from my childhood. And I also got one of these old books. Like I said, I don't have much, but I love the artwork. It's the really lot of the like look at that cover art. This is just amazing artwork by Drew Struzan, one of my favorite artists that I've been following my whole entire artist life. So a lot of great things that came out of this line, and I hope and pray that that Disney approaches this with kid gloves and not really just play it safe, but just give George Lucas and Spielberg this. Here's the budget. Give us a good movie, and I think George and Steven, I think they probably learned from the last project versus the first three on how they need to do the next one. So I got good hopes that the next movie could possibly be one of the top ones out of the whole entire line. That's what I'm banking on. For some reason, I got that gut feeling, and I have a feeling too, if everything lines up just right, Disney will pop out massive, massive amounts of toys. I just hope Disney, listen up here. I know you like to put special things in your park, but it really just pisses us off when you put the best stuff in your park and we don't ever get a chance unless we go to your park. That's being inconsiderate to your fans and just rude as hell. And we're kind of sick and tired of that. I get if you want to do one, but don't put a whole entire line down there that we're not ever going to get a chance to see. That's just, you're being greedy, and we're kind of tired of that. So please stop that. You know, if we should be able to at least get it online if we want to. So, you know, be a little bit more considerate to the collector, please. So, but guys, that's what I have for you here. Thank you guys for joining me. Sebastian, Tim, thank you this morning. And guys, coming up soon, I'm trying to do something special. I'm like 10 episodes away from my 100th episode, and I'm totally excited. And I got an idea here. I'm going to throw it at you. Please comment on this sometime today on this video. But I'm looking at getting my doing Meet the Family. Meet the Toy Smuggler family is what I'm looking at doing. We're going to film it right here. We're going to put the webcam back over here. I'm actually going to be inviting 2 or 3 of the friends from that helped me make my Paranormal Chaser movies, because they're more than just friends. They're like my family. So they're looking at having 5 of us and my little girl in here, and we're all going to be going to the video, taking turns saying things and asking questions to people. And I really want to within the next day or two set up a thumbnail and start advertising it for a couple of weeks from now. So please tell me, guys, your opinion if you think that sounds like a good live episode, and I'll probably do that like on a Friday night, so that more people during the daytime can you know, have the capability of joining in. So guys, let me know what you think about that. 100th episode, meet the Toy Smuggler family. So if you guys like that, give me 2 thumbs up, or if you have a better suggestion, please include it. So guys, thank you this morning for the Indiana Jones future review. I'm hoping for something good, hoping for a good movie, and I'm hoping for tons and tons of cool action figures. Catch you later. I'm the Toy Smuggler.